everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates, and as I had said in my last video, I'm going to show you some of my refashioned, upcycled projects that I've been working on, putting together some of the pieces that I got at my thrift store hauls and creating a different look on my on the clothes. And also I wanted to bring your attention to the music in the background. It's a sweet friend of mine. Her name is Linda, and I've just recently been introduced to her and never knew she had such a gorgeous voice. But she's singing one of my favorite songs called Oceans, and I'll leave the information in the link below. And also just wanted to draw your attention to Winderpain. She has a wonderful YouTube channel, and I just love everything about Wendy. She's a good old Southern girl with a really interesting story. So if you make your way over to her channel, you'll see what I mean, and you'll find her just as charming as I do. So thanks for watching. I'm going to show you some of my outfits now, and I'll be back at the end because I did something fun to shoes, and I want to show you that too. See you in a minute. Okay, so this first top was made out of a top that my mother had gotten me many years ago, and I've held on to it mostly because it has a Paris theme. Happens to be one of my favorite cities in the world. I haven't been there in a very long time, but I wanted to hold on to this. I knew I didn't want to get rid of it. Anyway, so I added, so this is the top, and then I added no, actually this is not a dust ruffle. I was going to say it's a dust ruffle, but it's not. It's the bottom of a dress, and then underneath I added another slip because when I put it on you could see through the holes of the eyelet lace. And then on the sleeves it's a skirt, and I think it was a child skirt, but I cut it in half so that you could have the same trim, the same bell sleeve on both sleeves. And then the collar, I saw this on a sweater on a girl in Ireland. I love how that, it just kind of had that, what era would this be? Bad art history student. I think it's from the Baroque age, where they had like the tall pleated and ruffle collar. Well, it doesn't really look like that, but that was my inspiration. And then I like the little silver sequins that kind of give it a little sparkle, like the city streets in Paris at night. So that's my first top, and I'll insert a picture of me wearing it if I'm brave enough later. And everyone knows I have this thing for Mori fashion. Mori means forest in Japanese, and Mori kai, the word kai means fashion if I'm correct, but this is more of the Mori girl kind of inspiration. All of the colors that you see in Mori fashion are kind of the neutral, muted colors that you might see in the forest. They love flowers, natural fabrics like linen, and this was linen, or is linen. And then I have a double layer of lace for the collar. So this is a vest. But the fun thing about this refashion was it was a skirt. And I don't know if you can kind of see the shape of the skirt is an A-frame skirt. Is that how you call it? A-frame? Anyway, A-line, that's it. So I cut armholes and made a neckline, and then the buttons in the front of the skirt just serve for the buttons in the front of the vest. And then it has the little pleated decorative element at the bottom. But I love the color combination, how soft it is. And I plan on wearing this not just in the spring and the summer, but in the winter, with a ribbed turtleneck or a fluffy scarf, something else to kind of make it warm. Even though, you know, there's pastel colors, I think it's okay to take them into the winter. So there's my refashioned, this was actually a Ralph Lauren skirt. Anyway, it's now a Mori girl inspired vest. Okay, so here's another one that I upcycled and refashioned, and this one took quite a bit of time. I wanted to go on the quilt, patchwork quilt kind of look that I've seen on Pinterest. It's also kind of falls in that Maury girl kind of fashion look, and it reminded me of my grandmother who used to wear those house dresses. So it may be a little bit of, no, old fashioned, but I like to think of it as just a vintage look. And so I'll come closer so you can see. First I took swatches or squares and cut them and glued them down so that I'd know where I want them. And then I zigzag stitched around. And it did take quite a bit of time, but I really enjoyed the process. And then instead of elbow patches, I just kind of put a little square of fabric at the bottom of each cuff. And this shirt ended up being something other than I intended, because I was doing someone's hair, bleaching it, and it bleached my shirt, so I had to cover it, and I just wanted to reclaim it. There's a special butterfly for a friend who loves butterflies. There's another one. And there's some buttons. I covered the buttons. So that's my upcycled refashioned tunic. Let me turn it around. It also has the patchwork on the back. So I'll back up so you can see the back. So there's the patchwork on the back. It'll just be a fun little wraparound top. Okay, so this top I showed in my Goodwill thrift haul, and then the lace that's on the bottom was on a skirt that had layers and layers of this lace. But what I liked about this lace was not only is it a nice color for the top, the pattern in the lace are these flowers, and I was able to kind of pick out that same shape of flower right there, if you can tell. Try to keep this from moving. So maybe no one else would have been that meticulous about the pattern on the lace, but I just kind of liked how they tied together. And then the waistband of the skirt is what I put around the collar of the top. And then it has a built-in sleeve. It's kind of boxy, the way it's cut. But I decided not to put any lace around the armhole of the sleeve this time. I thought just the neckline and the bottom would be enough. And because it is a shorter sleeve than I like to typically wear, I don't like to draw too much attention to my arms, so I thought I'd leave a little decoration off there. So this is another Maury Girl inspired top because of the muted colors, and I like how there's a little pop of the purpley blue color in there. I don't need all these clothes. I've been having a lot of fun creating them, but at some point I'm gonna have to share. I want to anyway. So I'll move on. There's a pair of shorts I made to actually go with this top. I don't really wear shorts, but I decided to get brave and at least make it to go along with it. We'll see if I wear them. Okay, so these are the shorts, and this lace was actually the same lace that was on the skirt that I put on the top I just showed you. And by adding the lace, I was able to take these linen shorts and make them a little longer, which is a more comfortable length for me. I was gonna grab the top again. Anyway, these are the shorts. I think they're pretty cute, and I love the linen. There's the lace. Okay, and now these are what I call Maury Girl inspired trousers. And the fun thing that I had, or fun time I had with these, was adding a double layer of decoration. So underneath, there's this brown floral fabric, and then over that Is this called Battenberg lace? Anyway, I thought it was really pretty. But this is just an example of how I take pants and make them longer. I never feel really comfortable in capris. The length still hits me on my ankle in a spot that's not as comfortable. But whenever I add the lace, then I just really enjoy how they feel. They're really comfortable. So that's one trim that I just added to the bottom of some chino capris. And then these I like to call my little Lulu pants. These are, again, some eyelet lace trim added to seersucker. They're very wrinkled. And nobody in my family is a fan of these, but I just love how comfortable they are. They were fun. They are fun to wear. And my son asked me why I had a skirt at the bottom of my pants. He was actually right, because it came from a skirt. But anyway, I just wanted to show you. These are definitely Maury Girl inspired. And right up my alley. So I enjoy making them and I enjoy wearing them. Okay, so now I have some shoes that I have decided to do a little bit of refashioning to, and it's interesting how the Maury Girl fashion kind of mixes rugged with feminine, and these are, I'm sorry, I have a big foot, so this is going to look huge to you, but this shoe was just real plain. We have this great outlet here. I think I was telling you about it, but it's Nordstrom's rack final sale. So everything that was at Nordstrom's rack, which is already kind of discounted, then goes to the final or last chance. And so these were there, and they're just really plain little hush puppies. They're leather, Franco Sarto, I guess. But anyway, I find my size there. But a shoe this big, to me, it just kind of knocks out anything that says feminine to me, which I really love the feminine look of things. But I also like the rugged look because I love the forest. And so in Maury fashion, they mix the two. So what I did was I took my little punch and I punched through the leather and I added lace. And then you can just put a fun little lace bow right in the front. It kind of just takes away or adds a little touch that says, you know, I kind of like the girly girl stuff too, even though I have a big foot. Anyway, I'm not sure. I'd probably play with this a little bit more and even mess around with different laces. I think that's kind of fun. So that's what I did with this suede leather booty. Just added 2 punch holes and a bow. I know Maury Girl fashion can be very kind of juvenile and people are like, oh, that's too girly, it's like for a 12-year-old. I don't subscribe to that. I just wear it because I like it. So here's the second thing I did, and I got this off a YouTube video that I'll try to find the link so you can see. But these were pretty little blue patent leather flats that I showed I got from a Goodwill haul. And I had been seeing pictures of floral printed shoes, especially a couple years ago. They were really popular. Well, I couldn't find them in my size. So what I did was, from one of my thrift hauls, I took a skirt, and this is a lightweight cotton with really pretty rose patterns. I love all things floral and rose. And you take Mod Podge, and I used the one that's matte gloss, and you brush it all over, and then you cover the shoe, and you have to do a lot of smoothing and snipping and cutting, and I don't want to kind of show you all of that right now, but this was the end result from the first shoe. It turned out really great. I'm very happy with it. This is my size, but it's a wide. I don't have a wide foot, but I'm going to try to make a strap to go across the top just so it will stay on. Now you'll see it's not totally finished because I have to take a mat knife now and cut a nice sharp line where the sole meets the shoe. But it gets nice and hard, so it should be fine. And then I can go over it with one coat of the matte Mod Podge. So I was really happy with how this turned out. And maybe in a couple hours I'll have 2 matching floral flats. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to get back to upcycling, and I hope you'll try some of these projects too. Bye-bye.